Track 5.6, Unit 5, Exercise 3. Read the exam tip and complete the task.
It's time to talk to my next guest now, Mark Wallace, a 16-year-old drone racer. So, Mark, tell us about how you started. I understand you received a present on your 14th birthday?
Yes, that's right. I'd asked my dad for a skateboard for my 14th birthday, but for some reason he decided to get me a remote control plane instead. When I opened the parcel, it was a bit of a letdown, but I thought I'd better look enthusiastic. I took the plane outside to have a go. Although I thought it would be tricky to get the hang of, I was a natural, and from that point on I was hooked. A year later, I got my first drone, and shortly after that started competing.
Track 5.7, Unit 5, Exercise 4. Listen to the whole interview again. For questions 2 to 7, choose the correct answer A, B, or C.
It's time to talk to my next guest now, Mark Wallace, a 16-year-old drone racer. So, Mark, tell us about how you started. I understand you received a present on your 14th birthday?
Yes, that's right. I'd asked my dad for a skateboard for my 14th birthday, but for some reason he decided to get me a remote control plane instead. When I opened the parcel, it was a bit of a letdown, but I thought I'd better look enthusiastic. I took the plane outside to have a go. Although I thought it would be tricky to get the hang of, I was a natural, and from that point on I was hooked. A year later, I got my first drone, and shortly after that started competing.
I see you wear goggles when you're drone racing. Is that because drone racing is a kind of virtual reality game?
I agree. The headsets we wear do make it look like we're playing a video game, but I can assure you they're real, not virtual drones flying around the tracks. The goggles are linked up to a camera on the front of the drone. You see, the drones are about as big as a dinner plate and can go very fast, up to 80 miles per hour. So cameras on the drones are essential in order to see where you're flying. It's really cool, as it gives you a bird's eye view. It's the closest thing to flying.
I know there are rules to drone racing, but not everyone follows them. Why do some races break the rules?
I'd say most people do respect the rules, but there are always a few who don't, which is really annoying. I even remember hearing about someone who flew their drone at school. I'm sure they impressed their friends, but I'd rather people didn't do stuff like that, as it gives the sport a bad name. I'm part of a club, and we have special areas where we're allowed to practice, and at competitions, we race around specially designed courses in stadiums.
So, how do you feel before a race?
I'd like to say I've got less nervous as time has gone on, but unfortunately the opposite is true. I guess it's because the stakes are higher now, as I'm competing at a higher level. I try to find distractions to stop me worrying about the race. My teammates listen to music, and that works for them. I'm still looking for a good technique to help me focus. So, if you have any suggestions.
I'm afraid not. So, have there been any particularly memorable moments over the last year?
Lots. I'll never forget picking up the gold trophy with the rest of my team. That was pretty awesome. It was made all the more special because my grandparents had flown in to watch the tournament. The only thing to beat that was when I met the world champion drone racer when I was in Dubai. It was like meeting a hero, and he gave me some really good advice.
Do things ever go wrong? Any lessons you've learned from them?
Oh, yes. I've definitely had some disasters I'd rather forget. My most embarrassing one was just before my first race. I was so keen to practice on the outdoor track that I ignored the wise words of the other racers and took my drone out despite it being very windy. Of course, drones are pretty light, and one strong gust blew it into a tree trunk and it smashed. And I missed out on my first race. I really regretted doing that. It was a good lesson to learn.
Finally, what advice would you give anyone who's thinking of taking up drone racing?
Go for it. It's such a great feeling, but it is addictive. My parents sometimes say it's time I took a break from competing, but I can't. I love it too much. The good thing is, it doesn't take ages to become competent. The average beginner probably takes a couple of weeks to get the hang of it. I think it's a good idea to be a part of some kind of group, like a club or an online racing community. Oh, and do some research about which kind of drone to buy. It's not necessary to spend a fortune at the beginning.
Thanks, Mark. That was Mark Wallace talking about drone.